Hi guys, Will Wilde here. I posted a video last weekend playing blues in first, second and third position on a standard Richter harp, and it prompted a few questions from people asking whether or not I use all those positions on my Wilde Tuned harps and whether or not you can play Wilde tuning in different positions. Well, the simple answer is yes, you can. In fact, you can play it in all 12 positions, technically, because you can get all the notes of a chromatic scale on this. You only need one overblow in each octave to do that. But I designed the tuning primarily for playing in second position, so I feel like it works best for second position playing. But lately I've been experimenting with it in first and third position for blues stuff, and I'm going to share with you some of the cool things that I found out. So let's start with first position blues. So the first 5 holes on this are the same as a regular harp. So in the first octave, holes 1 to 4, nothing has changed. You still have all that kind of standard cool kind of bluesy first position stuff that we do in holes 1 to 4. Now in the middle octave, on a regular harp, people tend to just avoid that middle octave, holes 4 to 7, because it's really awkward for playing the blues scale in first. You need 3 overblows. In fact, you need the 4 overblow to get your minor third, you need the 5 overblow to get the flat 5, and you'd need the 6 overblow to get the flat 7. So even if you're good at overblows, that middle octave is pretty awkward for playing blues in first position. So, you know, most people tend to just leave it out. But on Wilde tuning, the middle octave lays out much more like the first octave. So those kind of licks that you have there, you can play up here. Because on this, holes 6 and 7 are exactly the same as holes 2 and 3. So those deep bends that you have there, you have in the same thing in holes 6 and 7. So what we tend to kind of think of as our blues scale in that first octave is really a kind of cheap blues scale, because we don't have a minor third in that first octave in first position. You'd need the 1 overblow to get that, and you know, the 1 overblow is more or less impossible unless your name's Howard Levy, and even then it's hard. So if you think of that scale, it's just a blues scale but with a major third in blow 2 instead of a minor third. And that's what you get in this middle octave as well. And here you've got a choice of where you play that major third. You can play it as a 6 blow or as a 5 blow, because those two notes are the same. Okay, so then the upper octave again kind of lays out like our lower octave. So, you know, hole 9 is just like hole 2. Hole 8 is just like hole 1. So those licks that you play in holes 1 and 2, you can play the same in 8 and 9. And then hole 10 is reversed, so your root note is a draw 10, and then your flat 7 is the 10 whole step bend. So basically all the stuff that you do in your first octave, those kind of first position blues licks, you can create the same kind of licks in the middle and the upper octaves. And obviously you don't need any blow bends on this, because you know, there aren't any blow bends on this, only the draw notes bend, but they bend all the way up to hole 10. So let's talk about third position next. So again, the first octave is exactly the same. So all those kind of, you know, George Harmonica Smith style licks in that first octave are still there. Then in the middle octave in some ways is not as good as on a regular harp, but it does have some benefits. With every kind of alternate tuning, you kind of gain one thing here, but you lose another thing there. So it's always a compromise. So holes 4, 5, and 6 in third position work really well on a regular harp. You know, you've got that 6 draw bend, which is your 5, and then the 6 bend is the flat 5. Well, I changed the note in draw 6, so you lose that note there, but the note that is usually in blow 6, which is the 4th degree of the scale in third position, you now have that note in draw 6. So instead of 4 draw, 5 draw, 6 blow, you would go 4 draw, 5 draw, 6 draw. So that's quite cool because you can now scoop and add vibrato to that, you know, to the 4th scale degree there. And then the note that you did have there, the 5, isn't completely gone. You've got it in hole 7 as a whole step bend, just like you have it in hole 3 as a whole step bend. So it's not as pure sounding as having it as a, you know, a natural draw note. You can try and kind of smooth it out with vibrato, but yeah, you still have that note there. So again, it kind of lays out a bit more like the first octave. One advantage though is your root note in 8 draw. It was in 8 draw before, still in 8 draw, but now it's bendable, so you can scoop on it and add vibrato to it, just like you do in the 4 draw. And then hole 9 is like hole 2, so anything you do in holes 1 and 2 in third position, you can do in holes 8 and 9. So it does work pretty well in third. I haven't really practiced with it very much in first or third position because, as I said, it's really designed as a second position tuning. But it certainly does work in first and third for blues, and there are some cool things you can do with it. So let me know in the comments below, you know, if you've discovered any other positions that you can use while tuning in. Or any cool licks that you've found in positions other than second. I'd be interested to know. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.